sorry for the delay. I wanted to see a couple of plays. Just on the iPad before I commented on anything. Hey, I credit St. John's. I think, it was the exact type of game we thought it was going to be. Just as hard a game as we've had to play this year. And in the end, it was always going to come down to just the rebounding piece, and then just being able to take care of the ball. And just to go on the road against that defense and shoot 54%, and go 9 for 19 from three. Obviously, the turnovers killed us. Just having 15 of them, and then obviously the free throws. We didn't make them. We didn't shoot many, and then when we did shoot them, we missed them. So when you go minus 17 point-wise at the foul line, and turn the ball over 15 times, and get out rebounded, you're not going to win on the road. So, credit St. John's. They got a real physicality. That just plays real well in these conference games.
Questions?
Yeah, I guess, given their physicality, was the free throw discrepancy kind of surprise you there? Or, can you tell us what you were looking at on the iPad afterwards?
Will you pay the fine? How many reprimands am I on right now? Hey, listen, there's just a couple of them, like, when Silas is driving down the lane and he gets fouled by two different people, at that point in the game. And I thought Alex got fouled at least on one of those two drives in the paint. And then when we fouled, they called it. I mean, we're undisciplined as a fouling team. So, hey, listen, it's officiating is. It's a tough thing to do. That's not why we lost, but certainly, for his, for the way that they play defense, especially with that pressure, where they make it, really hard to enter the ball because of the manner in which they're guarding. And I thought we handled it pretty well. If you really look at it, Silas, who's changed our whole complexion of our season this year. Just had one of those games where he did a lot of things great, except 9 turnovers. So, that was the story of the game. I think even shoot 55% from the field, Taras has a chance to get a 3-point play, and like these critical moments, and it goes instead of getting 3, you get an 0 for 2. So. But it's a lot of it has to do with St. John's. They're grown-ass men. Mitchell, Hopkins, and Ejiofor. When you have to play them in Big East games, the way that the game is going to be officiated in conference play, they're built for Big East games.
Yeah, I know you're still processing this loss and the calls and stuff, but you are going to play them at least once, maybe 2 more times. How much does that kind of amp up the rivalry and the emotions going forward for these future games?
Yeah, I think what a lot of folks overstate is, how much you think about, future games. I don't even know who I play next. I don't know if I play the road. And I hope no one in here tells me, because I really I'd like to find out in the morning when I look at my iPad and the GAs put the next team's games on there. So. You really don't look ahead. You really just deal with the next game. We've had an unbelievable run. We haven't lost in months. As much as we turn the ball over and put them at the free throw line, and the second half defensive collapse. We still had our chances. To steal it, and so we'll move on to whoever we play next, and then we'll get a couple days out from the next time we play these guys. We'll get ready to play these guys again.
Dan, just moving forward in games like this, how important is it to get a little bit more out of the bench when obviously the competition is up?
Yeah, I just thought the bench was skittish a little bit. And when you come in off the bench, and I think we're up 16-10 and off to a pretty good start, and we look real sharp, and we went bench, and it was immediate 7-0 run. And if you're a bench player, You know, and that happens in that particular game now. You know, you get a little tight with that rotation. Plus, you know, it's you know, games like this, your best player is going to have to go 35 minutes, 36 minutes. You know, like you see, you know, Zuby played 35, Dylan played 35, you know, Sellers played 33.
Dan, to your right,
Can't see you.
way to your right.
Now I do.
Could you elaborate on Silas's performance? You mentioned the 9 turnovers. I'm wondering how many, you know, do you think a lot of them were preventable, but he also took over.
Yeah, man, it
large
was fucking
portions of
great
this game.
adventure. Right? It was a great adventure. It was a roller coaster ride. I mean, it really was. I mean, he had some incredible plays. I mean, you see the difference between, like when we played against this team last year, just how much, you know, how we get forced into this kind of merry-go-round offense, and you see the pressure he puts on the paint. It was just, you know, we tried to prepare him for Darling. You know, Darling loves to kind of bait you into, he kind of times your dribble, times the cadence of your dribble. And what we tried to prepare him for, you know, for the way that they were going to attack his ball and for how sharp. I mean, when you play these guys, you got to snap every pass, you got to meet every pass, you know, you got to be ball tough. And we were just, you know, we're too loose with the ball.
Dan, kind of building on that point, can you explain the different dimension that Darling gives St. John's when he's on the court playing point guard?
Yeah, he's a great point guard. You know, I know that guy is a heck of a player. And to be able to do what he does, which is like, you know, whatever his minute situation is game to game, when they need that guy to step up, I mean, he made a huge difference in that game. I mean, his ability, you know, the paint, midi, the lefty drive, you know, Solo wasn't into the ball, he's a 3 off the dribble, he gets to the foul line. I mean, he made things tough on our guards. I mean, that guy's got good size. I mean, he's a tough guy. That guy's he's a really good point guard.
Kumar, Joe, and John.
Dan, over here. Braylon obviously started out well, but then he took one more shot in the second half. Was that just a combination of the matchups that they threw at him with Mitchell and all those guys and the ball security issues and all that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these games is matchups. I mean, a lot of how you play against people is how teams are built. And, you know, I just thought that the way, you know, they were a little short with some closes. I don't think that they, in the first half, kind of timed up how quickly he gets shots off and the distance he shoots from. And I just think that it, you know, he needed to, their adjustment they made was they ran at him a lot faster. And he needed to just mix in some shot fakes. You know, he needed to use his eyes and his shoulders, and you know, he's a young player, and this was a big spot. I mean, this was an intense game. It was not. I know the coach might have been off on the ratio of the crowd. You know, I looked around during the anthem. I saw a lot of red. I saw a lot of red. That felt like a real road game.
Coach, to go back to something that you said earlier, can you just elaborate on the disruption that St. John's defense caused to the flow of your game, the 15 turnovers tonight, and just the flow throughout?
Yeah, I mean, they make it. You know, listen, you know, it's an incredible. I mean, literally, you got to be in great shape to do what they do. I mean, for them to deny the ball in the front court the way that they do, and then the discipline to have not been fouled, not be called for one foul the entire game, the way that they face guard, and you know, they're handsy, and again, but it's a Big East game. But I would say that just, you know, it disrupts your ability to get into what you want to do offensively. But I think that, you know, again, we shot 55% from the field. We shot 47 from 3. Our turnovers didn't really come against the pressure. Our turnovers came, you know, just Darling making a great play on the ball. You know, Mitchell stealing, you know, a breakdown in execution, getting a pick 6 there. You know, in the front court. You know, they I didn't think that we turned it over because of their pressure. I think we turned it over because we lost our fucking mind a little bit. And they have great defense. I mean, that's a top 20 defense, easy. I mean, they're hard to beat.
Time Warner,
want to see more? Are we good?
We're good?
All right, let's be good.
We're good, bus time. See you.